Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Shattered Silence, Stories of Recovery and Resilience. My name is Jori, and today I'm here with Christina Campas. Christina, hi. Thank you for coming on today.
Of course, thank you for having me. I'm honored.
So we kind of connected through Portrait of a Warrior Gallery.
Yes.
Like right after Kyle passed away, I had never heard of it, and I was connected. Honestly, it's all a little bit of a blur,
Right.
How it all aligned, but I just remember Jason. He went to our church and we got connected somehow. To be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, how did it all connect, But I know that you had some connections with Portrait of a Warrior Gallery, and Sandy, who runs it, kind of connected us.
Yes.
And life's been hectic, but we're finally able to meet. So thank you so much for coming on. So, I just want to talk a little bit about, your husband, your story, his story. And that's kind of how we connect a little bit, just with the military aspect, So, I just want to hear your story.
Yeah, thank you. Because Kyle was a Marine as well, right?
Yes.
And Phillip. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Phillip, we knew each other. We went to high school together.
Okay.
We rarely, spoke. We kind of knew who each other were, but we weren't, in the same friend group.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until... Here in Bakersfield.
Okay.
Yes, we both went to East High.
Okay.
And then after he graduated, he went to the Marine Corps about a year later. And I remember we both shared the same friend. And one weekend, that friend was like, hey, do you want to come with me on a trip? I'm going to go pick up Phillip. You remember Phillip from high school? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, come with me. I'm going to go down to Camp Pendleton, and we're going to pick him up, and then I'm going to bring him home. I was like, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
So we went for the ride. And then after that is kind of like when we connected, and we kind of just started talking, being friends. We dated for a little while. That lasted about 9 months. And then we were just young and dumb. We went our separate ways. We kind of had two completely different lives. After we split. He was in the Marine Corps, of course. He actually ended up getting engaged.
Okay.
And then I actually had a child and got married.
Okay.
And then, obviously, both of those did not work out, those relationships. And then in 2009, the end of 2008, 2009, we reconnected. And then we were inseparable ever since. And we got married in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So then... Was he out of the military when you guys...
He was not, actually. We got married when he was... he got stationed in South Carolina, Beaufort, as a drill instructor.
Okay.
So we got married in the middle of his term there.
Okay.
And I went and joined him, me and my son.
Okay.
And so the first 3.5 years of our marriage was the Marine Corps life. So it was a lot of him being gone, him being away. And then in 2015 is when he was honorably discharged. And then he always knew he was going to be in law enforcement. He kind of just didn't know what agency he wanted to kind of apply to. But he had known some people at the sheriff's department, so he decided ultimately to go through that.
How long was he in the Marine Corps?
He was in the Marine Corps for 10 years.
Oh, dang.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I met Kyle after he was out of the Marines.
Oh,
so I just never was I didn't know that aspect of it, I guess.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's a whole different
ballgame.
Yeah. But I feel like that prepared me for the life of being a law enforcement wife.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was used to the long hours, him being gone, so it wasn't really a surprise for me, which was fine, and I really didn't mind it. I really understood. That's just part of the job. But he was in the Marine Corps. We got married in 2011. He got out in 2015.
Okay.
So we spent about 4 years in the Marine Corps with him.
Okay.
And then when we got home about a year later, he joined the sheriff's office, and he was there for 5 years until his end of watch on July 25th in 2021.
Do you want to go into the story of what happened with him?
Yeah, we can. So that day, we were actually in the middle of getting our kitchen remodeled. And so that day we woke up and knew we had to go to Home Depot to get a couple of things. So it was me and our 2 girls. My son was actually away in Pismo with my parents. He was camping with them.
Okay.
And we woke up and we had coffee and we kind of were just talking about our day and what we needed to do. And so then we decided, we had our plan, we got ready, we left, and we went to Home Depot. And then on our way back, I remember he got the call that there was a SWAT call out. Actually, at first, I believe it was sometimes they'll send out a call and be like, hey, there's something going on. Just be ready in case we get a call out. So he told me I got a text, so I might have a SWAT call out. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And he's like, so we have to cut our day short. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then shortly after that, when we were almost home, he did get the call, and they had the SWAT call out. And so when we got home, I remember that the girls were hungry. So he said, hey, like, I'm just going to get my stuff, and I'm going to just go ahead and go get the girls something to eat, and then I'll see you when I come home. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great. We give him a kiss, we leave, and then I remember, like, looking at the door camera because he was going out the front door, and I saw him grab his stuff. He got in the car, and he left. And then on his way over there, he had called, and he just said, hey, I just wanted to call you guys to tell you guys I love you, and I'm, sorry. She said, I just wanted to call and tell you guys that I love you. Please tell Eli that I love him, and, I'll see you guys when we're done, or I'll call you. I'm like, okay, great. And so then I remember we were almost already home at that point. And then we got home. I got the girls settled. They were eating. And then I don't, it's like it's all a blur that day, and I don't know how long it was after that, maybe a couple hours. I had received a text from someone on the SWAT team, and it said, go to the hospital now, Phillip's been hit. And I'm like, okay, like shocked. I'm like, okay, what do I do? So then I didn't know, like, obviously I didn't know anything. So I literally just I believe I had my pajamas on. I just put clothes on really quick. I told the girls, like, let's go. And then they're like, we're going. And they could tell I was kind of like, flustered.
Frantic, yeah.
And I was like, we're just going to go for a ride. We're going to go for a ride. And they're like, okay. And so then just get in the car. They didn't really ask any questions. They were 6 and 9 at that time.
Okay.
And so we get in the car, and I remember thinking, like, okay, I don't even know where I'm going. Like, where am I going? And then I'm trying to text back, like, where am I going? Where I don't know what to do. But then I realized, like, they're not going to be able to text me back. Like, they're in the middle of a situation. So he was just kind enough to let me know something had happened.
Right.
And so in my mind, I just thought, it's going to be KMC because he works, it's through the department. And so I know it's probably there. And then they finally got back to me and said, KMC. I'm like, okay, great, I'm there. So then I pull up. And when I pull up, there's already, like, sheriff cars there. I remember the sheriff is there. And my kids go with a family member. They leave, and I go inside, and I remember just everybody just standing there. And I'm like, okay, hi, like, I'm Christina. I got a call, like, my husband Phillip's here. And they're like, oh, okay. But they were being very vague. They weren't telling me much. So I didn't know if he was there yet or not. And so I remember they took us and they put us in a room, like just a room towards the back of the hospital. And they're like, okay, just wait here. And I'm like, okay, like, not much. And so I remember sitting there, and I remember my mom and my dad, my son, all my cousins, they were all on a trip that weekend, and I didn't go. And so I didn't have anybody, like,
no
to think, like, to call. But but I feel like looking back, like, I was so, like, in shock, or maybe naive, I don't know the correct wording for it, but I kind of didn't even think it could be that severe. I thought, okay, like, maybe he got shot in the shoulder, like, the arm, the leg, like, it's going to be okay. So then I remember calling my mom, and I'm like, hey, Mom, like, Phillip's been hit. I don't know, like, what happened, but, like, I even told her, like, but don't worry about it. Like, I'll call you when I get there, when I find out. And she's like, no, like, we're coming home. And I'm like, no, Mom, it's okay. Like, it's okay, Mom. Like, just, no. And then, obviously, she ended up packing up, and they were on their way. And then I remember they send a liaison. The sheriff's department will send a liaison. So a liaison is a civilian worker. Her husband was actually worked for the department. And they come, and they kind of just try to make things easier for you, try to just, like, answer your questions if you need them to. But I remember I had a friend, she's my best friend, one of my best friends now. She was calling me, and she said, Christina, like, do you want me to be there? And I'm like, no, like, it's okay. Her husband has also worked for the department, and they knew what was going on kind of before I did. And I kept saying, no, like, I'll be fine. Like, I'm fine. I'm just going to wait for him. And she kept insisting, no, like, I'm going to come. And so she was able to come, which really was helpful as well. And then the liaison came, and she was helpful. She was very sweet. And I remember just being in that room, and it was just in the hospital. It was cold, just a plain room, like nothing around, and we were just sitting there and just waiting. And I remember the liaison saying that there 2 people had been shot. I'm not sure now that's all a blur. I'm not sure if she said that or my friend, but I had known that two deputies were shot. And one was going to be driven in an ambulance, and the other was going to be put in a helicopter because his injuries were more severe. And I was like, okay, like maybe my husband's the one that's coming on the ambulance. Like I still was like, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I remember her saying, my husband's there right now. I'm like, okay. So then I thought maybe I can ask her, like, does he know like who's coming? So I said, does he know who's coming in the ambulance or who's coming in the helicopter? And she said, well, he knows that someone's coming in the ambulance. And then she told me his name. And I remember thinking, that's not my husband. So then I kind of just sat there and I feel like time just froze. And then I remember them saying, when the helicopter gets here and it lands, you'll be able to hear it, or you can tell when it's here. I'm like, okay. So I remember sitting there with my friend and we're like waiting, and I'm like, okay, like, has it come? Like, we haven't heard it. Maybe we missed it. And then a couple minutes later, like, we see a gurney pass by and it's his coworker. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not Phillip. I remember thinking, okay, that's not Phillip. And they had his family, I believe, in another room. So he was going with them. And then still waiting. And then I remember a nurse came in and asked me my name, asked me all my information. And I'm like, okay, like Christina, and it's my phone number. And she was like, okay. And then she leaves. And then it feels like hours later, the doctor came in and just said, are you the family of Phillip Campas? And I said, yes. And he said, I'm sorry, we tried everything we could, but Phillip didn't make it. And I remember, like, at that moment, everything just still seems like a blur. I remember falling and then my friend catching me, and we were kind of just screaming. I didn't know. I just remember thinking, like, oh my God, my kids, like, my kids don't have a dad. What's going to happen with my kids? Like, what am I going to do? And we were there. We sat there for a while, and then they left. And then I remember some deputies came in, and they were talking to me. And then I remember just wanting to leave. I was like, can you please just get me out of here? I just want to leave. So I remember they, like, couldn't really walk, so they put me in a wheelchair, and then I left. And then I remember on the way home, I called my mom, and my son was with them. And I told her, and then I remember I was going to tell her, like, please don't tell him yet. But, of course, when I gave her the news, she screamed, and then he kind of, like, knew. Yeah. And then she was like, we're already on our way home. We're halfway there. We'll be there in a little bit. And I remember getting home and thinking, on the way home, I remember thinking, what am I going to tell my girls? Like, what am I going to tell them? Are they going to understand? Like, they're 6 and 9. They're older, but they're not that old. I mean, they're still young.
Yeah.
And so I remember getting there, and I asked them to come with me, and they're like, Mom, what's the matter? And I'm like, just come to the room with me. We went to a back room, and I remember just telling them what had happened, or just that their daddy had passed away. He's in heaven. And they had some questions. I answered their questions. And then I remember thinking, like, they didn't have much of a reaction. Like, I'm like, okay, just like, shocked. Is that normal? Like, yeah. But I'm like, they're probably just shocked. And we had already had family starting to gather over there. So I remember they had cousins and friends and things. So I remember after that, they left. They went to go play. And I'm like, okay, like, maybe they just don't understand yet. And that's okay. Yeah. Like, maybe when we're home alone and we can have this conversation. And I remember doing that later on. But we were there for a little while. And then I remember them calling. They called me. I'm not sure who it was. It was a deputy. And he said, the priest is here, and he gave him his last rites. And I remember thinking, okay, like, I didn't even think about that. Like, that's just not something that, And I remember thinking, they were like, but they'll do it again. If you guys want to be here, they'll do it again. I'm so sorry. Like, they didn't know. They just did it. Or I might have given the okay. I can't quite remember, but I wasn't thinking. Like, they were asking me questions, and I honestly can't even tell you. I can't even remember the questions. I don't even know how I answered them. Yeah. And I was like, that's fine. Like, we'll go back. And then I remember going back to the hospital. And they asked all of our family if we wanted to see him. And they were like, but please, like, just remember, like, he's going to be covered. Like, so if that's fine. And I remember thinking, yeah, that's fine. They're because it's not a good idea that you see him. You don't want that to be your last memory of him. I'm like, of course not. Of course. So then I was like, of course, yes, I would love to see him. And they're like, okay, well, just let us clean him up. We'll get him ready for you. And then we will just have his hand out. And you can, hold his hand. And I remember, waiting. And I'm just like, okay. And then at that point, my mom was back. And my dad and my son, but they weren't inside yet. No, I'm sorry. They actually were not even here yet. My aunts and my uncles actually came to be with me because they were all of my other cousins, the cousins I'm close to were gone that weekend. So they came, and we're all really close family, so I'm really blessed. And I remember them talking to my aunt to talk to me because I was just looking at people I don't know what you're asking. And then my aunt's telling me this is what they're asking. And I'm like, okay. And then they're like, okay, he's ready. And I'm like, okay. So then I remember sitting in a hallway, and there was a door, and I remember going inside, and there was a lot of doctors and nurses, and I'm assuming they had to be there just because. And I remember he was just laying down, and he had a sheet over him, and they had his hand out for me, and I remember holding his hand, and it was still really warm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, still warm, maybe he's there.
Yeah.
And they just let me take my time with him and, pray with him. And they did his last rites again. And I just got to be there with him.
Yeah.
I remember just smelling his hand, kissing his hand, just
Yeah.
didn't want to let go.
Yeah. And it's as hard as that moment is, I'm sure it's also I don't know how you felt in that moment, but just getting to say goodbye.
Right. Getting to say goodbye.
Me so emotional too.
Yeah, I was just really grateful that I got to say goodbye. Actually really grateful that actually he called me and was like, I love you guys. He would call me when he was at work and ask about the girls and me, but I always knew it was because he had gone to a call that involved children. And so, I'd be like, hey, how are the girls doing? I'm like, they're good. How was Eli? And I'm like, they're good. He's like, okay, I just wanted to check on you guys, tell you guys I love you. And then, so I don't know, I always think maybe he just had an inkling. I don't know. I always think about those things. Or maybe he just, I don't know. Yeah. But he made sure to call and say, I love you guys. And
yeah. I think I've mentioned it maybe once before on the podcast, but right after Kyle had passed away, really, really soon after he passed away, I want to say it was in the first couple weeks, I talked with someone, a woman that I was connected to, and to be honest, again, I can't remember who connected us, but I spoke with her because, I spoke with her because she had lost her daughter in a car wreck, and her daughter went to camp the week before and wrote a little letter to her Mom, happy birthday, love you so much, and all this stuff, and taped it on her mirror, and she passed away within a few days or within a week after that. And she told me, she's I truly believe that was my little piece from God, it was almost the events were already going to happen, but the fact that she wrote me this little letter that I still have taped on my mirror, and that just brings me back to that moment for you. I feel it's just that God moment, oh my gosh, he called me and told me and the kids that he loves us, and I mean, even the morning that Kyle passed away too, we had even gotten in a fight the night before, so but we still even the next day it's you make me mad, but I love you, Yes. So yes. It's just grateful that he didn't pass on bad terms or anything,
That is very, yes, I
yes,
agree.
so blessed for
that. I'm very blessed for that.
Makes things, not that it's easy at all, but it just
it
helps you a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have done this. It
right.
Just,
right.
It's great to just, their last words to be, I love you.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
So then after, being in that room with him, Did your kids ever go in there?
They did not. They actually stayed. I didn't take them back.
Yeah.
I knew that just wasn't something. It would be too hard for them. It just, they wouldn't understand. Honestly, like I said, I don't think they really understood.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't a thought,
Yeah.
And then I remember them saying that they were going to, everybody was going to come, and they were going to, we were going to walk him, I believe, to the coroner's office. That's right there by KMC. And so we got to do that. I remember all different people from all around came, like, to be there while it's just right by KMC, but they honored him as he went there. And then I remember after that, I left and I went back home, and my family came with me and the kids came with me, and I got home and it was like quiet and empty. And I remember my mom was there. I always had somebody spend the night with me for at least like the first, I believe it was 2 to 3 weeks. There was always somebody there. Yeah. My mom or my cousin.
Yeah, I was the same way. Yeah.
And they were doing this for me, cleaning for me, doing my laundry for me, all the things that I didn't even probably think to do.
Yeah.
I remember just laying I slept on the couch the first night. And I remember just crying, and I'm just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What are my kids going to do?
Yeah.
I remember my mom was just there, and she was just, it's just like a dream state.
Yeah.
And she was just like rubbing my hair, and I was just in shock. I didn't, and the next morning I woke up and I'm like, what do we do? Like, what do I do now? And then the sheriff's department was very, very wonderful. They were very comforting. I remember they were like, any questions you have, like, please ask. Like, but they took care of all the funeral arrangements, the burial, everything.
Nice.
Because they were like, we want to give him a really beautiful funeral, of course. And I'm like, okay, that would be beautiful. And it took a little while to organize, but it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. I remember it being so beautiful. And I remember thinking like being proud to be his wife, because he was just an amazing person. He was an amazing man, amazing Marine, amazing deputy. And just hearing all of the, like, in those 2 weeks, I had people come and visit, and all the wonderful, like, conversations that people had or stories about him were just so awesome.
I know. You want to laugh and cry.
Funny. Yes. It's just like, please, yes, make me laugh. Like, is there some story I haven't heard? Yeah. And he was very serious guy. But I remember him just being like really funny, and he would like crack jokes, and it's like, well, where did that side of him come from?
Yeah.
And the different stories that people told, the kids even loved to hear them. And just like, like made them see their dad in a different light.
Right.
Or even me as well, like in different times of his life, the different people who were in his life at those times. All know like a different version of him. Yeah. And so it was really cool to get to know the different versions of him that like I hadn't met before. So we really enjoyed that. Yeah. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. People came from all around, and I just couldn't have asked for a more beautiful service.
Yeah. Is he buried out at the National Cemetery?
He is buried out at the National Cemetery. Yes.
Like, so's Kyle, and like I get so emotional just even thinking about the funeral, because it was beautiful. And like I think about and I just think about like Kyle, and like he would be like, okay, that was like badass.
Yeah, right.
I just know he would have like loved it, and like weird to think that he would have loved his funeral. Like
I remember thinking that too. Like all the people, I remember like when we were driving after we had the public funeral at the mechanics, we were driving out, and I remember like people were lined in the streets, and all of the law enforcement cars were lined in the streets, and I'm like, oh my God, Phillip would be so like proud about this. Like it's just beautiful that they're all out there for him. Yes. And just supporting him. And I remember on the way over there's a couple of bridges, and there was the fire departments were on each bridge, and like they had their flag flying. Oh, I love it was so beautiful. Yeah. And the kids were just like in awe, because they still didn't really understand.
Yeah, like, I was just going to ask.
Like, I don't, and still, to this day, they're like, okay, Mom, like that was, they don't really remember, they remember it a little bit. We're fortunate enough to be able to have it on video, so the whole thing was recorded for us. Yeah. And so they know, like, whenever they're ready, like, they can go back and watch it, but they haven't been quite ready yet.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get that too. Right, yeah. I'm like, I have a hard time looking back at anything right now. I don't know. It's just like I feel like there was a time period where I'm like, oh, I can watch all the videos and all the stuff, and I can laugh and I can cry, but I feel like the moment in time that I'm in right now, it's just too hard for me. Right. I just can't look at it. Sorry, I'm so emotional today.
No, it's fine.
Gosh dang, I'm so emotional.
I think I had went through that last year. Last year was a really rough year. The third year for me was
it
the toughest.
Like I have not even hit year 2 yet, and I feel like it's starting to get tough. We have a message from our sponsors, Aspire Counseling Services. We just want to remind everyone that seeking treatment should never be stigmatized. Aspire specializes in providing support and treatment for both teens and adults with mental health and substance use disorders, recognizing that these conditions often do coexist. They are an amazing resource, and you can get started by texting or calling the number 888-585-7373 to enroll at any time. So I feel like I don't know if it's just military, law enforcement, whatever, but Kyle always talked about like, oh yeah, when I die, I want to be buried out here at the National Cemetery, and it was just an open conversation. So I kind of knew exactly like what he wanted, which seems crazy for him to talk about that before the age of 30, you know? And so did your husband ever talk about that?
He did. We did. We talked about that a lot. We actually talked about that when he was in the Marine Corps and he was debating on whether or not. So he did deploy to Afghanistan, but that was before we were married. He came back, and he thought he wanted to be a drill instructor, and so he became a drill instructor. And then we had both of our girls. So we already had Eli, and then we had both of our girls. And then after that, he kind of was like, I don't know if I want to extend. I don't know if I want to get out. Like, I have my little girls now, and if I do stay in, like, there's a good chance that I can leave again or be deployed, or, you know, just, you never know. Yeah. Because he was a machine gunner, so that was just something that he was a grunt, is what they called him. And so he knew that would be his job. And so I remember he just thought long and hard about it, and then he was like, no, I'm gonna get out. And then,
big decision.
Big decision, yeah. So then we talked about that, like what would happen if he did stay, and what happened if anything happened to him. Yeah. But then he decided down. Like, oh, great. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Right? You're like, whoo. Then I had like a little relief. But then like after that, of course, he was like, Christina, what else am I going to do? Like, I have to be, you know, in law enforcement. It's just me. It's just who I am.
You're like, oh,
right.
I had a break.
I know. And I was like, okay. Like, I understand. Like, you have to do what you want to do. So that's when he decided. And I'm like, okay. So then, of course, I'm like, okay, well, this is another job that is, you know, could be life-threatening. Right. And so we would always talk about where he wanted to be buried, you know, all the time. What he wanted to happen, how he wanted his funeral, and even if it wasn't in the line of duty death, like how he would want it. But I feel like that's just something that they probably are just so open to talking about because it's just in them, like military and law enforcement. It's like you want your family to be prepared and to know. Otherwise, we're left like, oh, shoot, like, I don't know. We never talked about it. Right. So I always felt that was important, too, to talk about all of those things because it just helps us in the end. Yeah. To know what they wanted and just to be helpful for us, and it's just not so stressful and like, what are we going to do now? How are we going to do this? Or where's he going to be buried? And, of course, the National Cemetery was always where he wanted to be buried.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful out there.
Yes, so beautiful. It's just like him, so beautiful, so clean. So like he was just all about like very organized and clean. Yes, it's like perfect spot for him.
Yes. So I want to go back like to your kids a little bit because I know it was hard for them to kind of understand, and that's so different for me, you know, because my son was only 9 months old, so. You know, I didn't have to watch him grieve his dad, you know what I mean? So was there a certain time where you felt like they, like, kind of got it? Like, they understood now that their dad was gone?
Yeah, I think for my oldest one, he was 13, so he already knew, kind of already understood. But his battle was going to be going into high school, you know, without a dad. And so I was like, okay, how are we going to do this? And he was just always like, it's okay, Mom. And I remember that some people would say, hey, like, Eli, you know, you're the man of the house now. You have to make sure everything's okay. And I remember getting upset. And I'm like, I sat him down one day and I'm like, Eli, you are absolutely not the man of the house. You are a 13-year-old boy. Yeah. And I understand, like, you know, your dad's gone. And I was like, but that's not for you to worry about. Like, you have me, we have our family, our friends, and we're going to be okay. And I remember thinking, so please don't ever think that you need to make sure anything's happening, like, around the home. Be a teenage boy. Yeah, and he was like, okay, you know, thanks, Mom. And I'm like, yeah, like, Bub, like, please don't ever think that.
Is so important. Like, so important. Because I feel like that's, like, I don't know, like, men maybe from the outside, like, oh, you're the man of the house now. Like, you're going to be the tough guy, you know? And it's, like, kind of in a joking way, but to a kid, it can be like, oh my gosh, this is serious. Like, I do have to step up.
Like, I am the man now. He was like, Mom, well, I am. Like, well, yeah, you are the only boy now, but, like, you're not a man yet, so it's okay. Like, you're a teenage boy. And I remember he just was like, felt so much better because I'm like, just be a teenager, please. Just being a teenager, we'll figure it out. And so my girls, for them, it's been just different things that have happened in their life that'll bring it up. Mm-hmm. Like we talk about them all the time, every day. We have pictures all around the house. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, you know, when they started school that year, because they started a little bit late because he had just passed away, and I remember they were just like, okay, like, but Dad's not here. And so just when different things happen is when they kind of will feel the weight of his you know, his of the loss. Mm-hmm. And I was told that too. Because like I said before, when I told them, they didn't have a reaction, and I kind of was like, is that normal? Like, is that normal for them to not have a reaction? And so I remember seeing a therapist, and I had told her, like, my concern, like, I'm not sure if they understand, and, like, if they're grasping the situation. And she said it was completely normal for their ages. The way they were acting, she said it was completely normal for their ages, and that it will come and go throughout their life depending on the different, you know, the different things that go on, right? Yeah. So we just take it day by day, and the girls kind of let me know if they need extra help, if they need me to reach out to someone. And my son as well. It's kind of the same, but we're super, super close, all four of us. Yeah. And so a lot of the times we like to just talk to each other, and it's really helpful for us.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too. That's so awesome that they're so open and like close with you. Like that's so important to have. It is. Have any of your kids been to counseling?
They have. My middle one has been to counseling. Okay. She's been the one. She went shortly after he passed away, and then she was like, okay, Mom, I think I'm okay now. I'm like, okay, Mom, like, you just let me know. Like, I'll just, whatever you want to do, you let me know, and then we'll do it. Mm-hmm. And then last year, she asked again, like, Mom, I think, because she was in 7th grade, so she's got junior high, all of that stuff going on, plus her dad. It's just like a whole mix of things. Yeah. I remember junior high just being like some of the most horrible years of my life.
Like a totally different world going into junior high.
It's so different, and their emotions, their hormones are going crazy, and so she just like, I think I need to talk to someone. I'm like, okay, Mom. So we found a really good therapist for that she loves right now, and she looks forward to their sessions, and that's been helping her.
And I feel like as like a young kid, I don't know. I feel like not a lot of young kids will openly say, hey, I need to talk to a counselor. I agree. So, like, that is so good. It was
very, very strong of her. Very brave of her.
And I feel like even if, like, there is anyone that has been through something similar or has had a child go through trauma, even if they might not openly come to you, maybe just go and ask them too, because I feel like counseling is just so important. And as a young kid, I feel like it's not always something you want to come out and say to your parent, you know?
Right, it's not. I feel like I was very open about, because I was seeing a therapist, and they'd be like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to go see my therapist. And they're like, okay. And then just kind of just something that was just stuck in their mind, and I just want them to know, like, it's okay if you want to speak to somebody, that's not Mom. Sometimes when you're a teenager, like I said, you don't want to talk to your mom, right? And so you want to talk to somebody else. And so it took me a while to be like, okay, like, I understand. Like, some things she's very open with me, but maybe sometimes you just don't want to talk to your mom. You don't talk to somebody else. So I think that's just kind of what she's going through right now, and it's helping her a lot. I can see like the relief in her when she comes out of her session, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's so awesome, and I hope she continues to go through counseling.
Yeah, me too.
So I remember after Kyle passed, I had so many Marine friends reach out to me, and Kyle hadn't been in the military for I mean, 5 years.
Okay.
And so he, like, I still had so many of his military buddies, like, reaching out to me, friends I had never met, or some I never even heard of. Most of them he had talked about before, you know, but there was still such a big group of guys that he really impacted in his time in the military. And, you know, it was really nice to see them all reaching out to me. They even, like, hey, we started a GoFundMe for Christmas for your son so you can help get him some Christmas presents. And I just remember being so incredibly touched by that. Like, wow, like this group of guys are going to come together for me, who they've never met. But, I mean, obviously for Kyle, you know. But, yeah, it was just so special to, like, see that, like, brotherhood that they had, you know. So I'm sure you had plenty of military.
Same. They still reach out all
and
the
law
time.
Enforcement,
There's always a whole the Marine Corps, I think I always say it's like a different ball game over there. Like, they're just so different, you know, especially the Marines. But their brotherhood definitely is one like no other.
Right.
And he had a big group of big group of friends who came from all around to his funeral.
Yeah.
One of them, I remember, couldn't make it, but most of them all came, and they stayed for a while. They visited with us and the kids. They still check on me all the time. They're the ones who are always checking on me all the time. Every holiday, every like Father's Day, just they always reach out. And it's amazing. And I remember one of them I still. We're really close. Me and his wife are best friends, and so we always hang out. They actually live in New York, so they visit us every year. They always come down for his anniversary.
Oh, that's
they always spend time with us.
Sweet.
And then we went over there before to spend a month over there during the summertime.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
They live about 45 minutes from the city, so we would go visit the city and then visit them. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And he was Phillip's like beyond best friend.
Yeah.
So we always stay in touch, but everybody else we do as well. But I remember just every time he would talk, like I could tell the difference between when he was talking to like a coworker from the sheriff's department, like or like a brother from the Marine Corps. Just like it was just so different. It's like different sides of him. It was really cool. But yeah, it's their brotherhood, their bond is amazing.
Yeah.
And they definitely, love their families.
Right.
Yeah.
And I still talk to some of Kyle's, like, the closest ones, too. We'll talk here and there, too. But, yeah, I feel like it speaks even louder when you, like, outside of just, how do I say this? I guess, like, not the moments right after they pass, but reaching out years later just is, like, that just says so much, you know what I mean?
It definitely says a lot.
And I feel like you hear that after your loved one passes, like there's so many people there for you in the beginning, and then it kind of trickles down because like life is continuing, you know. But again, those people that reach out, it really means a lot.
It does.
It means a lot. Other than continuing to see like the military families that he was close with, is there any other traditions or anything that you guys can continue to do to honor him?
Yeah. So we always would get him, this is the most special one for us. So his birthday, cheesecake was his favorite dessert. So every birthday we get a cheesecake and we sing to him and we just eat his favorite dinner. So that's a tradition that we love to keep. And then even for like New Year's Eve, we'll be with family and friends and bring in the new year. So I did start a foundation to honor him. It's called the Phillip Campas Foundation. And after he passed away, obviously I knew that, his family and friends, we would always honor him. He would never be forgotten. But I remember that when Phillip passed away, the community and other nonprofits were there for us. And they made such a big difference in our healing, and they were amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, I want to be that for someone else. Me and my kids, like my kids and I want them to know that, we're so grateful for all we've gotten, but it's also great to give back. And what's better than the community that, meant the most to him. And so it took about a year. It was like a year in planning. It was me and one of my best friends and then my dad. We sat down and I kind of was talking to him about how to do it. We were lucky enough to have a lawyer donate her time, and she went ahead and she filled out the paperwork. She submitted everything for us. So they made it super easy.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like one step at a time. It was super slow, but I wanted to make sure I did it right.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Dotted all my I's, crossed all my T's, and make sure it was good to go. And then we had a man named Ryan. He is the owner of Patriot Provisions, and he is a nonprofit as well, and he makes T-shirts for fallen officers all around the United States. And I remember he had come out with the T-shirt. Not I remember, but he came out with a T-shirt after Phillip passed away, and the proceeds went to the children and I. And about a year after Phillip passed away, people were asking for shirts again, and they were asking if we were going to have them again. And so I reached out to Ryan, and he said, I would love to do like a second edition. And so we did a second edition.
That's awesome.
And he said, we're going to do a second edition, but if you wouldn't mind, can we say that you're going to donate to, or I'll donate to a charity of my choice. And I'm like, yeah, like, of course, or of your choice. I'm like, yeah, of course. And so then we started the foundation, and then he was like, hey, Christina, like, what if I donate it to like your foundation? And I was like, oh my God, that would, like, thank you so much. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
So it's actually because of him that we were able to start and kick off our foundation.
That's awesome.
From the T-shirt sales from him that he donated to us, and we were able to help someone right away. So we didn't really have to wait to help, because we kind of already had a little cushion. And so it was really amazing. I'm very grateful for him. He's been amazing. Him and his family.
That's awesome.
Have been amazing. Yeah. So right now we kind of kept it open for everything. So we want to do law enforcement, first responders, active military, their families. We're working on a couple scholarships at a couple colleges.
Okay.
We helped a veteran one summer because his PG&Able was just so expensive. And of course they have their little income.
Yeah.
We helped with that. We helped a firefighter with his cancer treatment. So we left it open to be able to help kind of across the board. We didn't want to be restricted to just one thing.
Right.
So we've been very blessed with being able to do that for others.
I love that. Yeah. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
That's so awesome.
I'm proud. I'm excited. It's very much out of my comfort zone because I'm very much quiet. I'm an introvert, and so then when I go to these things, I have to like speak.
Right.
I'm like,
you got to come out of your shell a little bit. Yeah.
But it's good for me because I remember Phillip would always tell me, like, Christina, like, you have to speak up. Stick up for yourself. And I'm just like, no, like, why? Like, I don't like confrontation. It's fine, but
now you hear his voice in your head too.
No, I was like, he's probably like proud of me for getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of the work that we're doing.
That's so awesome.
To continue
I love
to
that.
do. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is something that my kids have a really, really heavy hand in. I want them to be there for all the events that we have. My daughter recently came with me to another when I presented a check to someone, and she was really sweet.
Awesome.
My little one, she's a little chatty, so she was like talking, and I was like, oh, how sweet, and like they like love to hear her talk, and like it was awesome. And so I hadn't taken any of them to any of those check presentations, and I thought to myself, like, no, I'm gonna take one. Like, I'm gonna take her. My little one was a little shy still, so she was like, no, it's okay, Mom. She's just turned 10. But my 13-year-old, she was all about it. And she's like, yeah, I'll go. I'm like, okay, let's go. And so that was really awesome. And then right now I serve as the executive director, but I'm hoping one day, I have big goals for the foundation, so one step at a time, but I hope to get there, and I really hope that one day that they'll take over and continue the foundation in his honor. And
how special is that? Yeah, that's
excited.
Really, really special. Something for your kids to continue to continue. And to help others. Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So I saw that you are doing a golf tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, so can we hear a little bit more about the golf tournament?
Yeah, of course. It's our inaugural golf tournament. So it is September 18th of this year.
Okay.
It's been in the works for over a year now. And I'm super excited. So our foundation our funds are through fundraisers or donors. So these events are really crucial for our foundation to be able to raise funds. And so we decided to have it this year. I'm really excited. I'm nervous and excited. And we're hoping that a lot of people come out. It's a good turnout.
Yeah.
We're hoping that it brings in, people that maybe don't know about our foundation either. So
we'll spread the word.
Thank you. I want to get our name out there for people to know that they can reach out to us, and we can help them. And so that's kind of really the basis of it too. It's just so people can get to know us and we can get our name out there, and so people know that we're out here to support for whatever they might need.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We kind of want to help as wherever we can.
Mm-hmm. What date is it?
Ability. September 18th of 2025. Yeah, at Bakersfield Country Club.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We usually just kind of end with any piece of advice. So is there anything that you can tell someone that's maybe gone through something similar?
Yeah, I feel like I would have told myself, what had happened, just to give myself grace, to give yourself grace, give your kids grace, that it's okay if one day all you have to do is cry, and that's all you can muster up to do that day, is just get up, eat, survive, and you don't always have to be doing something each day, like just to relax, and to really lean on friends and family, because they really want to be there for you.
Yes.
And I think I went through a phase where like I was just like, okay, like I don't want to, like, I wanted people there, but I didn't want to talk to anybody. So I just wanted to be in my room, you know. And sometimes I wish I would have just, kind of gone out there and just let them, love on me like they wanted to.
Yeah.
But that just give yourself grace.
Yeah. I was just going to say, but again, it's okay that you wanted to be alone, you know?
Right. It is.
Yeah.
You're right.
Give yourself grace. Yeah.
I gave myself grace and I did it. Because I think at times like that, we want to do too much and we want to stay busy, which I felt like I was doing. I wanted to stay busy. Yeah. And then sometimes I didn't give myself time to grieve or to just sit there and do nothing. And then it caught up to me. And then I was sick or something happened and it just was not healthy for me. Yeah. So just to give yourself grace.
Yeah. Grief is exhausting.
It's very exhausting.
Take the rest if you need it.
And it comes and goes in waves.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think you're doing okay and then you hear a song on the radio or you see something at the house and you're just like, oh, God, like he's gone, like he's never coming back. And then all the emotions come back and it's okay. It's okay to do that.
Yeah. I always wanted to sometimes let myself cry to get it out before I went and did things. So it wouldn't be all just burst out at one time, Right. But it's okay to just let yourself
I remember I would just take car rides by myself.
The car rides?
I would just cry in the car and just drive and maybe listen to our songs and then okay. That's what I needed. Yeah. Come back home, be refreshed. It's just, I always wanted to make sure I'm my best self for my kids because now, it's just me. So my attitude, sets the tone for the entire household. And so when I'm relaxed, they're relaxed. If I'm stressed, they can be stressed and they see it. And so I just, like I said, even now, I try to give myself grace.
Yeah, and you're a strong person to be able to do that. It's like, okay, let me go on my car ride and cry so that I can just be there for my kids.
Come back and be better.
Yes, because you know what? We all go through it,
Yes, and then when they cry too, I'm like, it's okay. Because my middle one, she's like me. I feel like I'm always saying sorry. Just, oh, I'm so sorry. Or I hit something. Oh, I'm so sorry. And Phillip, I was like, what are you, stop saying sorry. What are you sorry for? And so I tell her that. And she's like, I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm like, please don't be sorry. Yeah. Do not be sorry for that. You don't always have to say sorry. It's okay. You can cry. Don't be sorry because you're crying. Yes. It's okay. Please let your emotions come. And she's like, okay, Mom. And so that's something that we're learning, me and her together, to stop saying sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
I need to learn that too. I'm always saying sorry.
I'm like, for what?
Let yourself feel your feelings.
Right. Yes. It's okay.
Yeah. Right. Well, Christina, thank you so much for coming on. And
I'm for having me.
Really excited for your foundation.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so
I love
much.
what you guys are doing. Because I just know that any little piece to help a grieving family helps so much.
Right. And to know that you're not alone helps tremendously. I've realized that. I feel like, obviously, before I was not a widow, I didn't know there was such a big widow community. Right. And now that I'm a widow, I'm like, wow, there are a lot of young widows.
Yes.
A lot, unfortunately. Yeah. And so just knowing you're not alone, too, and just, hearing other stories of how other women get through it and the similarities.
Just having that community. Yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. It was an honor.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Shattered Silence. As always, don't forget to follow us on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can watch full episodes on YouTube or listen in on Apple Podcast or Spotify.